Senator Lindsey Graham slams a New York Times article stating President Trump pushed Australia's Prime Minister to assist Attorney General William Barr with the DOJ's investigation into the Mueller probe. During an interview on Monday, Graham said that the AG should talk to Australia as well as Italy and the UK. He said the communication is necessary to determine whether their intelligence services improperly worked with the U.S. officials to investigate the president. Graham called the Times article an effort to shut down Barr's investigation and said that he's going to write a letter to all three countries asking them to cooperate with the Attorney General. Here's the latest on Bill Barr's investigation.
Attorney General William Barr is making good on his promise to investigate the origins of the special counsel investigation. According to reports Monday, Barr has held private meetings overseas with several foreign intelligence officials. U.S. Attorney John Durham reportedly joined the AG on these trips. Durham's been tasked with investigating the methods of U.S. intelligence services surrounding the 2016 election and its aftermath. The duo traveled to England and Italy in September to seek cooperation with his probe. This comes as new reports say Barr urged President Trump to ask the Australian Prime Minister to aid him in his efforts. All this falls under the cloud of the Ukraine phone call where the president asked Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky to look into the DNC server hack, as well as Joe and Hunter Biden. The United Kingdom, Italy, Australia, and Ukraine connect back to the origins of the Russia investigation in some way. Professor Joseph Mifsud has ties to both UK and Italian intelligence. He first mentioned Hillary Clinton's stolen emails when he brought them up to former Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos then reportedly told an Australian diplomat about the emails, which then sparked the FBI's initial investigation. Reports say scholar Stephen Halper, who is an alleged federal informant, met with former Trump advisor Carter Page and introduced Papadopoulos to his assistant, who turned out to be an undercover UK government agent. Former British spy Christopher Steele wrote the anti-Trump dossier and was hired by Fusion GPS, a group which was being paid by the Democrats. And Ukraine is accused of being behind the DNC server hack and not Russia. The country is also alleged to have fabricated documents which led to the prosecution of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort.
Many people seem to assume that the only intelligence collection that occurred was a single confidential informant and a FISA warrant. I'd like to find out whether that is in fact true.
The president's opponents have reacted with shock and awe over Barr's open efforts to discredit the Mueller report. But the resistance should have been paying closer attention to the administration's moves. Weeks after Barr's hearing in May, President Trump declassified Robert Mueller's files, giving the DOJ a map to follow back to the start of the inquiry. He even called out the countries making headlines this week as part of Barr's probe.
But for over a year, people have asked me to declassify. So what I've done is I've declassified everything. He can look. And I hope he looks at the UK, and I hope he looks at Australia, and I hope he looks at Ukraine. I hope he looks at everything, because there was a hoax that was perpetrated on our country.
The White House responded to questions about Barr's request to the president to ask foreign leaders to cooperate with his inquiry. Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley said the request was to, quote, provide introductions to facilitate his ongoing investigation. He then accused Democrats of not wanting the truth to come out. Marty Golingen, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.